What's up, guys? It's the first episode of Fade You Sports Talk. Man, welcome again to this brand new series that we have coming up, man. Again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video and do the whole nine, man. Let's get straight into it. So as you can see in the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about the NFL Draft, right? About a few weeks ago, the NFL Draft just occurred, right? A lot of things happened. A lot of things occurred in free agency in the offseason, up and coming to the draft, that really created a lot of surprises for a lot of teams, right? And we're going to really talk about the sleepers and the surprises of the NFL Draft, right? So as we started off, top 5 picks was very predictable. Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears, which was a huge upgrade for the Chicago Bears, right? Needed that QB, and they need that stability at QB position that they haven't had in a very long time, right? And then coming up in the second pick, the Washington Commanders, no-brainer pick. They pick up Jayden Daniels from LSU, right? QB that we could really compare to Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick, but we'll see what he's going to do with that Commanders offense with Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson and the different type of weapons they have at Washington, because they're building something special as well. And then next thing, you got Patriots picking up Drake May, right? Honestly, Drake May was predicted to be the second best QB coming out of the draft. However, Jayden Daniels did win up, but the big thing about the Patriots, they need to address the wide receiver position. They did in the draft. We had a few pieces for them, so they're still in the development piece within that team. But let's really dive into the surprises, right? So with the 8th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, right? That was really a surprise pick for me, because honestly, after giving Kirk Cousins, making a big contract with him from the Minnesota Vikings, give him a big 4-year contract, fully guaranteed as well. It really questioned, okay, I thought they were going to take Dallas Turner, the edge rusher out of Alabama, which the Vikings, deja vu, they traded up to get him. And that was the best defensive end in the draft, best edge rusher. And I was really surprised that they didn't go edge rusher, because they needed really help on that defensive line, because they had plenty of weapons on the opposite side with Drake London and Kyle Pitts with Kirk Cousins. So I really thought they were going to address the defensive side, upgrade that defense so they could really have that stability to really claim that spot in the NFC South. Getting Michael Penix, I predicted Michael Penix to go at least like top 20, maybe second round, third rounder behind Bo Nix. You still had J.J. McCarthy. Besides the first 3 QBs, Caleb, Jayden Daniels, and Drake May, the next QB follow-up was going to be J.J. McCarthy, right? As a Commanders fan myself, we was talking about getting J.J. McCarthy or Jayden Daniels. That was really the 2 QBs that we decided who we were going to go for. But we really just nailed it down with getting Jayden Daniels, in my opinion, which was the right choice for the Commanders. But with Michael Penix Jr., he's coming off really. Michael Penix, before his injuries, if he had all the injuries to his knee and his lack of play in a championship game, he would have been a top 5 QB. And he can be that type of top 5 QB, not in the league, but in the draft that he was projected to go in, along with Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels, right? However, the injuries really killed him within that draft process and really toned out his stock a little bit. However, he could still be a very impactful player in this league, right? And then with the Vikings trading up to get Dallas Turner after losing several pieces on that defensive line, getting J.J. McCarthy to pair it up with Justin Jefferson was a very need, because I really don't think they was going to go on Sam Darnold, full through on Sam Darnold for the starting spot. They want to add some competition, especially coming into training camp. OTAs, we got rookie minicamp coming soon, so let's see what J.J. McCarthy has put in. But I really think the Falcons, they made not really a huge mistake. They did have a solid draft going on for like second, third rounds, but that Michael Penix Jr. pick didn't make sense to me at all. But let me know y'all think in the comments that pick really made sense, and honestly that's gonna be the longevity move, because Michael Penix is really up in age. I think he's around 23, 24, 25 years old. Stayed all 4 years within Washington, so that really could play in the factor. And is Kirk Cousins, it is the end of his career. Me personally, I really think Kirk Cousins shouldn't got that much of a money within the contract because he only has 2 playoff wins within his time with the Minnesota Vikings. But the Falcons would have needed a QB. And I thought he was going to build around him. He was complete shock. Kirk Cousins was a player that was very shocked when they selected Michael Penix Jr., right? And but we're going to see how it works out. Surprises. Really, the draft really went out how I planned it within my mock draft. Shout out to the Clutch Time podcast that we had a whole mock draft going down. We really had each pick and really aligned to the team's needs. And make sure y'all shout out to them boys over there, man. I'm a part of it, but this is my own. But definitely shout out to the Clutch Time podcast as well. But let's really dive into the sleepers, right? The sleepers, the players that you thought that was going to slip to the second round or that was going to go first round but slid further down. And the player that I'm really going to stick out is by my Washington Commanders that we selected at 36, really early in the second round. We selected Jazar, a.k.a. Johnny Newton from Illinois, right? And to me, that pick, at first when I seen the pick with the Washington Commanders, picking Johnny Newton, it made sense, but it didn't make sense at the same time. Thinking about we do have 2 Pro Bowl D tackles in Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. However, according to Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, that was their highest player on their draft board. After Jaden Daniels, I wanted them to address the left tackle position. I wanted them to trade up, but I think they made a couple calls, but a lot of teams didn't really persuade or wasn't interested at all. But getting a dominant D tackle with, I think he was gonna go top 20. I'm surprised that he was still there starting the second round, and we had to get him off the board, right? And of course, people say, "Oh, you got Jonathan Allen, we got Daron Payne," but that's literally going to ease snaps to keep them fresh, right? Having a dominant that's off the block, off the edge, he literally built like a DN. After watching quite film, he's quick on his hands, and his pursuit to the football and creative tournaments is what we need at the Washington Commanders. Right? As you know, I'm a Washington Commanders fan, die-hard. Been loving them since I was 7 years old. But having a player like Jazon Newton is really going to elevate that defense with additions of Bobby Wagner, Franklin Louisville, and different other pieces like Jeremy Chin on the strong safety side, and all the additions that we made in the draft far as building this defense, building that linebacking core, building the D-line core. Honestly, the Commanders are the team that really to look out for. But picking a player like Jazon Newton is really going to elevate and learn under players like Daron Payne, learn players like John that has been there, has been to Pro Bowls, has been dominant under that D-line to literally bring him upfield, because I think he could make an immediate impact year one within Johnny Newton, because honestly, he's a player that can be reckoned with. Especially in playing that division with the Commanders, you have Dallas, you have Eagles, and you have the Giants that's building great defensive lines. You have to beef up that D-line. And it all starts in the trenches, right? It all starts in the trenches, right? And within that, they build that defensive line, and that's going to leave all pressure on some development pieces on the Washington Commanders like Emmanuel Forbes. And you still have Benjamin St-Juste still improving year in and year out. However, that's really going to bring ease to their pocket and how they can scheme and move players around and really keep the offenses guessing during game week, right? And another sleeper that I had for this NFL draft is, I'm going to be a little biased here. I'm a PG County kid. I'm going to go with Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. This is a player that literally slid to, I think, the fourth round. He went to the Minnesota Vikings. Honestly, I had him on my mock draft going to the Commanders or the Pittsburgh Steelers, because this is a player that's literally a ball hog, right? This is a player that's really a ball hog, a player that went to Wise High School, PG County kid, born and raised. He played wide receiver and cornerback in high school, so his ball skills was definitely underrated. And going to JUCO route, his story as a player, right? Starting off as JUCO, then going to University of Alabama, then flourishing solid, starting his career out there, and then flourishing and going to transfer to Oregon. That's really showed his true talents in Oregon, right? Being that lockdown corner, a big body, 6'4", He could be that corner for the Minnesota Vikings that they exactly need. Especially with the additions with Chicago Bears, they're getting better by acquiring Keenan Allen and the wide receiver out of Washington. I forgot his name. Either Awuye or Azuye. But I can't pronounce his name, but I know what I'm talking about. I'm putting his name on the screen. But their offense, and with DeAndre Swift and different pieces they added with Chicago Bears, they could be a dangerous team. So the Minnesota Vikings have to get some DB help to secure, at least they can get to 3rd seed or 2nd seed in the division, right? You still have the Lions in that, and they're still getting better and better. So keep on looking on the NFC North, man. The NFC North is going to be a division to be reckoned with. Because, of course, the best division in football, the NFC East, AFC North. But look out for the NFC North because they're really going to be making some moves, especially with the additions. And who's going to go last, who's going to go top 4. My opinion, it's going to be like three teams out of that division going to make the playoffs, in my opinion. Or 2, depending on how the NFC East played out, or the NFC West as well. That's going to be interesting to see with Seattle and 49ers and Arizona. Because Arizona did get Marvin Harrison, which was one of the best wide receiver prospects in the draft. Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison, the running back, and Kyler Murray is really going to be up to them. But it's going to be very interesting to see. So those are the 2 surprises for me. He slid that far, Kyrie. He was just to go that round, but I believe the Vikings got a steal within him. And then with the Commanders drafting Johnny, Rowan, Reckon, Newman, right? So, yeah, man, that concludes the first episode of Fade You Sports, the podcast. Like always, it's your host, Rashad Lathan. Make sure you're subscribing to our Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, Apple Podcasts, etc. You name it, we got it. And more and more content coming soon. Definitely, let's get to it, man. We out. Peace.